last verse here, verse 30. Blows that hurt cleanse away evil, as do stripes the inner depths of the heart. Blows that hurt. I think the actual wording here, if you look at the Hebrew, is the blueness of the wound. The blueness of the wound. It cleanses away evil. And so this is talking about corporal punishment. And it doesn't say here regarding whom, but this can apply to both children through what we typically call today spankings, but this also can apply to adults. Sometimes adults need spankings, don't you think? Now, it shouldn't be by their parents, but it should be by our justice system. As you read through the Old Testament justice system, you actually find only 3 types of punishments. Capital punishments for capital crimes. Murder is one of them. There are a few others. A corporal punishment for crimes of violence and other things. Somebody gets into a fight. And then the third one is restitution. Somebody has to pay back what they owe. And by the way, it's never paying back the exact value of the thing. It's always at least double. Sometimes up to 7-fold what you stole or destroyed. And so there are 3 types of punishment found in the Old Testament law. But corporal punishment is one of the common ways to punish people. Do we have any kind of corporal punishment today in our justice system? Does anybody know of anything? I don't see it anywhere. And it used to be a common part of our justice system, even in this country, and for centuries around the world, and to great effect. When somebody feels the pain of the crime they committed, within a few days or a week of committing that crime, they connect the dots much more easily. But a lot of times people commit crimes and nothing happens. Or maybe they go to jail for a week where they, watch television and get 3 meals a day served to them. And that's not going to really connect the dots with the destructiveness of their crimes. The same thing with children. Children need sometimes, not always, but that corporal punishment or that spanking as well to connect the dots with the sin that they committed, the thing that they did that was super foolish and dangerous, to the immediate pain that they feel on their backside, that is something that you shouldn't do ever again. And I'll wrap up with this story. This is years ago when I was a boy, I think. Singapore seems to have a much more, they have less leniency than here in America. We treat criminals with kids gloves, and what it leads to, right, is that the criminals wreak havoc on the citizens of the country. But there was an American in Singapore, and I think he spray painted a car or something like that. Well, they don't wink at those types of things, or at least back then they didn't in Singapore. And so they had a nice little punishment they called caning, where you take a stick of bamboo and you beat the living snot out of somebody until they pass out. And there was this whole debacle, oh, he's an American, should they do that to an American? And, well, sorry guys, this is what we're going to do. And they did it. And he was interviewed after, if I can remember correctly. And somebody said, how was it? And he said, it was basically the worst thing in my entire life. And they said, so do you think you would ever spray paint somebody's car again? He said, I wouldn't even think about doing that again. Corporal punishment works if it's applied. But it seems that in this country, at least, we prefer that criminals wreak havoc on the citizens than to, just do a nice, simple lashing, beating, caning. There's lots of ways you can do it, but each of them effective. But we're too nice and sweet in this country to criminals.